I don't know. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday's Q&A. Looks like we got some few new faces, people who haven't been here before. So typically what we've been doing is if you do have questions, we'd ask that you raise your hand, which you can do by hitting the react button at the bottom. Raise your hand. You can unmute yourself on your own, so then I'll just call on you to unmute yourself. We'll just try not to talk over each other if we do have things to chime in, information that other people have that maybe I or Chris don't. Yeah, and so we basically use these meetings to ask any questions you have, really any questions you got. If we don't have the answers, we can obviously follow up later through a ticket, or we'll recommend you putting in a ticket to further continue. Yeah, so with that, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand, yourself, which I think it's back. I think we're good. All right. Anybody have any questions off the bat? Or anybody have a question to get us started off? Yeah. Is that Zion? Hope I pronounced it right.
Yeah. You got it right. Can you hear me? I'm having some issues. I can.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi. So we have some checkers in the back that be scanning the barcodes for the clothes, and the color that comes up in the box is usually very, very small.
All
I was wondering if
right.
there's a way to make it big, because sometimes it does show up big. So we're trying to figure out if there's a way to always make it show up where it's large and easy to see and not be hidden by the font or like very small.
Sorry about that. It looks like we're having some connection issues, having trouble hearing. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. And you said, are you talking about when you're racking, or what are you looking at when you see those?
It's when we're racking. It will show like the brand of the clothes, what type of clothes it is, and then the color. It's just the box for the color is very small and hard to see.
Yeah,
And then sometimes, go ahead.
are you talking about like on the images, like on the detailing screen?
Yes,
I gotcha. So on the actual image, right, on the tile, are you talking to like in the bottom left when it shows like the brand and the color?
exactly. Yes.
I gotcha. Um, there's nothing in the system that has a setting that will enlarge it or anything like that. You can try to enlarge the resolution on the desktop, which might help, but it also might not. Um, if anything, that'd be more of a request that we could put in, but it's not something that we have a setting for.
Got you. Okay. Okay, we'll work on that. I have pictures and I can, I guess, talk to support and then figure that out.
Yeah, if you send like some examples of what you're looking at, and then put in a support ticket, and just like let them know you already talked to us at the Q&A. It might be a feature request, but we can look into it for you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, Sterling, I see you.
Hi. So this isn't I don't know if it's a question more than it is like a request. I do a ton of linen orders, meaning that I'm creating rental linen for customers instead of dry cleaning, which I do. I'm still a dry cleaner. I've been a dry cleaner for like 25 years. Uh, I've kind of branched off of using Smart to create these invoices because I just found that I can make the invoice a PDF like immediately through spreadsheets in like a minute, as opposed to trying to create it on Smart, which will take me like 30 minutes to create like one invoice. My question is, and I've been working with Josh to like import these orders on Smart, which is cool. My question is there a way to include my own PDF, like the PDF that I'm creating, and attach that to the order on Smart instead of using the PDF that Smart generates?
Yeah, so I think you put in this ticket last week or something like that, I believe. And I took a look at it. I tested a couple things, but I wasn't able to get the only thing that I could think of to try to test was to copy a link into an email template and then send it that way, a link to your PDF that you custom built. But
That's a
there's no
good
way to
idea.
actually put the documents into Smart as of right now. There's no way to send that document through Smart um, to the customers. Similar to attempting to send photos to customers right now, it's just not a good way to do it. But yeah, the link is the best option that I've thought of.
That's actually not bad. I could work with that. So I guess my question is where would I put the link right now?
Yeah. So I would build a custom template, a manual template, and that's where it would kind of just be a pretty manual process. And the reason I said email is because once you start adding more links to text messages, it's there's it's more likely that it's going to get flagged by carriers for potential spam, and then you run the risk of getting your number blocked by the carriers itself. So that's why I just recommend email. But yeah, as in putting in the actual link for email messages, I'm pretty sure you would just have to do a very manual, other than creating the generated template and then just copying and pasting the link in there for them.
Okay. All right. That could potentially work for me. I'd still like to have that added if that's something we could do, but I understand it's not going to be something that's like done today or in the next couple of months. Just a request.
Yeah, it's definitely an idea, and I think it runs along the lines of what we're trying to do with photos and images and pictures like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I don't know who put their hand up first. I guess it was Mubin.
Hey, I had a question about the APIs. Um,
Yeah, what's going on?
we created a new API key, but we're unable to access customers and order data. Do we need to get a different type of key generated?
Nope, the same key should work. Just make sure that you have bearer authorization inside of that and the actual key.
Okay, because I'm able to pull my stores and business info, but when I try to pull customer and sales info, it's not allowing me to do that.
Like the public documentation we have on APIs. In using the API documentation with Smart, like the public documentation we have on APIs.
Yep, I'll double check again, but
Mhm.
that's that's what I was doing this.
I guess what you could do is
I'll take a look at it again this later today.
what you could do is you could send in the error that you're getting and what you're putting into it, like the input and the output, and then we can assess it from there. You're getting and what you're putting into it, like the input and the output, and
Okay.
then we can assess it from there.
Sounds great. Okay, thank you.
Okay, John.
Yeah, hi. So I don't know if this is the right forum for this type of question or not, but kind of on the same kind of area as the API question. So we kind of operate both like brick and mortar locations as well as a separate kind of network of third-party lockers that currently run on a separate platform. So I wanted to understand whether Smart can serve as kind of like that single operational reporting system across both systems. So I'm just wondering, like, essentially integration with these third-party vendors. Are there supported paths to kind of achieve that?
So when you mean third parties, are you talking about like you just have another cleaner that you help or that you do cleaning for?
So yeah, the lockers themselves, the actual kind of hardware for the lockers are provided by another company, which is and then every time we get an order for a locker, when we have pieces inside of these lockers, essentially those orders are run through a separate system, not through Smart. And then that's not so it's so the brick and mortar orders are run through Smart, and then on the other side of the coin, those locker orders are under a different system. So essentially, our goal is to kind of combine those two to have one singular operational system for all types of orders, essentially. So right now, the locker orders aren't being captured by Smart. So we're just trying to see if we can integrate that into the Smart system, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would say so. If your locker is being managed by a different company or something like that, that has to have the orders in order to put that or in order to get the clothes in the lockers, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
We aren't looking to necessarily integrate with anybody new, but I would definitely be interested in hearing about what the company is, so that way at least we could see what it's about and see why we can't work with them, or if we already do work with them. But other than that, I would just say that you could move all of your locker information, everything over into Smart as long as you can still put the clothes in the locker without it having to go through that other system, if that makes sense.
That would be just like a kind of like a manual like data transfer you're saying, as in like we're like inputting data into the smart system.
So how lockers work with Smart is you set up a customer as a locker customer.
Mhm.
Then they get different types of messages. They are allowed to go to the locker at any point in time as long as it's accessible.
Mhm.
They use their own code that Smart puts in. Generally, it's the last 4 digits of their phone number. And every time that their order is ready, Smart sends them a message, says, "Hey, your order is ready. Your order is in locker
Mhm.
number XYZ." And then from there, it sends them that code and says, "Use this code to pick up your stuff and drop it off if you
Mhm.
please." And
Right.
so essentially, it's managed by the customer, um, as in on their own time. But all you have to do is make sure that the customer is on a route, so that way the delivery driver goes up to it, drops off all the stuff, and then hits complete on the stop, in which locker ready notification, and we just completed your pickup, whatever it is,
Right. Right. That makes sense. Okay.
and everything would be inside of Smart, so that way you wouldn't have to worry about it,
Mhm. Right.
any other third party or anything like that.
Gotcha. Is there a list of like approved kind of partners or vendors that you would do work with? Or is that not available?
So the biggest companies that we work with would be Quicksort and Metal Progetti,
Hmm.
but I'm not sure. I guess if you told me what the company name is, I could definitely go take a look to see what they're about, and if we need to look into working with them.
Yeah. They are Drop Locker by Luxor One. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them. Um,
think I've heard of I think I've heard of another
oh, gotcha.
company using them, but I don't remember what the outcome was with.
Sorry, that last answer, you were kind of breaking up. I couldn't really hear your last answer. I don't know if it's on my end or not.
I think the internet connection is on my end.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But if you can hear me, if I'm not cutting
Yeah.
in and out, I'm gonna need to look into that company, that the drop
Okay.
locker company.
Gotcha.
I don't remember fully how everything worked with them, and what
Okay.
we would need to do to get it up and working, or if you would just have to strictly move over to only doing lockers with Smart.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Of course, not a problem. All right, Sterling.
Yeah, since we're talking API keys and working with other companies, have you guys heard AI for laundromats?
No.
Okay, so AI for laundromats is essentially a automatic call system, and I essentially you can link it up with your business phone. It will talk to the customer. Whenever the customer asks, it will try to at least answer back some question. Now, I'm trying. I don't have it integrated with Smart because I'm sure you guys don't work with them right now. However, I can at least send you guys some information about that because I like it. Not to mention that it turns off like the 50,000 phone calls that I'll get in a day. But and most of the time it's just people that are asking for a pickup, which I try to get them to use the app. But if AI for laundromats could be linked to Smart, that would be super.
So I think just without looking into that that company specifically, but if you have a phone number that it's linked to, and we manage your Twilio, all we would need to do is realistically route your Twilio phone number to that number, and then it would work as that automation.
How would it work as an automation?
So as long as it's linked to that phone number, and say you have the AI phone number where regardless of what number they call, they get this AI bot that answers the phone. As long as we can link those two numbers together, then however you have the automation set up for the AI, for the AI bot to work, then they would just speak to the AI bot. Now, to get information from the AI bot to smart, I think would be the difficult part and would be the hurdle that we'd have to try to figure out yeah, that would be sorry, I'm just trying to think of what exactly would need to be done, and the only thing I'm thinking of is through API, could it learn our API and add customer stops or set a pickup, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yep. But it's of course, some customers they like it, and then some customers can't stand it because it's not linked up to my actual point of sale. But of course, I was trying to limit the amount of phone calls that we were getting, and like I said, if it could integrate with Smart, I'd be a pig in mud.
Yeah. That would be really nice, and we are looking at ways that we could use AI here first, and then once we kind of get the hang of it, then we'll look at putting it into Smart.
Cool.
All right, very good. Okay, I think Beth has a question. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I don't know how to raise my hand.
It's all good.
Oh, okay. I was just interested in your feedback on the geofencing. I'm wondering, is that something a lot of your customers use? Do you find it successful? Do you have some feedback you could share with me about that?
Yeah, definitely. I would say it's very company dependent. The first thing that you would want to make sure is that your routes are run based on location and not based off of time frame. Or, I mean, if they are based on location and time frame, that makes it even easier. But the biggest thing is you don't want Route 1 and Route 2 to be servicing the same area, because then geofencing is just not meant for your company until we restructure your routes and the location. But as for success, I would say the majority of our large clients use geofencing and they love it, and they seem like they can't run without it at this point. Obviously, they could if they needed to, but it just has made their life much easier, and they don't necessarily need to worry about their routes anymore. They can just kind of do it every day and without having a worry.
Is it popular with your customers, would you say?
I would say for a time frame there, it got really popular, and then but I would say within the last 4 months, I haven't had many people ask to turn on geofencing or even ask me about geofencing. So I think it depends on the time of the year.
When you say time frame, do you mean that they can't overlap? You mean days of the week, or when you say time frame?
Oh no, I meant as in if people are looking to revamp their business, generally depending on if it's like spring, summer, fall, winter, I guess. Some people like to change their business ideas and do different things depending on the time of the year. But as for geofencing, it's specific to location basis.
That helps. Yeah, I was reading through, your learning center and trying to figure it out. It sounds like it's a win-win on paper. So it's just a matter of the drivers determining where their routes are and setting it up in Smart. And with the geofencing, when they go in, does it ask for their credit card information, or do you know, or no? Initially,
yep. So it does ask, or not really ask. It depends on the customer's address that they put in. All new customers as they sign up.
Okay.
All right. Is that good?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. And if you do want to have like a meeting or something about it, if you do want to actually pursue doing geofencing, I'd definitely recommend reaching out so we can have a meeting and kind of go through everything, and I can do a short little demo for you.
Okay. Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, of course. Not a problem. Looks like it. I think it was Mubin first.
Yeah, I had a question about on the detailing, in regards to detailing. So when detailing, you can select brands, and you can start typing in the brand, and it's gonna show you some options. Is that feature possible to add to like garment type and all that? Because we have quite a few garment types, but sometimes you got to click around and find where it's at. Instead of that, can we just start typing, and then it'll kind of show the results quicker that way?
Yeah, it already does that.
Are you I tried to
Yeah,
check
item
that.
types, you can just start typing in shirt, DC, whatever it is.
Okay, I must have missed that. I'll give that a look.
Yeah, not a problem.
All right.
All right, Brian.
Hey, Tyler. I got a few questions, so if I can only get one, that's fine. But I guess the first thing is, and I don't know if I was speaking to you last week or not about the new customers updating the email address. Do we have an update on that, or still looking into it?
Yeah, so I looked into it, and for some reason they do have it set up to where, I mean, we already talked about it, but
is that so that is expected?
Yeah, that is the expected outcome. Now, I did put in there, we should only update it we should only send it out if they update, as in, if we update email, send the email, welcome ready. If they've already gotten the welcome, we don't necessarily need to send the welcome, but we could send some type of confirmation or email confirmation. And then for text messages, it shouldn't just default to text message if they just updated their email. Does that make sense? So
yeah. Okay. So what we experienced is supposed to is it's designed that way, and then we're looking to adjust it moving forward. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Got it. Okay. So I guess two questions. I guess a follow-up question is that would you guys be able to mass import email addresses? And if that is the case, would that trigger a SMS text message?
Yes, we could. We could. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't think it would trigger the email.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to verify, because if that's the case, then I can send an email or I can create a spreadsheet or something with everything and go from there.
Chris is over here telling me that he verifies it. It won't do that. So
okay. So I'll get a spreadsheet and send it over.
Yeah. Yeah. Shoot us a message and we'll make sure that it's good enough that we can at least track down because essentially we need to make sure that the customer and the email match each other.
So we'll need the phone number, the first name, last name, and email address.
Yeah, we'll need something so we can identify who they are, so we can import it and it works.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll message outside of here as a ticket, and then we can work through there.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right. And I know there's another person. I think there's another person with a hand up, or is it?
No, just you.
All right. So another, and if Chris is there, maybe this is another reporting thing too. But is there a way to have a report that I'm able to look at total sales if a person was picked up or delivered? Right now, I'm just trying to get an understanding of. Right now, I'm like, if I want to look at delivery reports, I go by agent, right? And it's fine. I guess what I'm thinking about is some people like to drop off and pick up, even though they're still a delivery customer. Right, we have a handful of them. I didn't know if I want to get more accurate data out of what's been delivered or dropped off. Is that a possibility?
So the customers are delivery customers, but then they come in and pick up and drop off at the store. Yeah. And so they're getting assigned the agent of
the delivery. Yeah.
It's still the route. So if he was to look up any of the information, he's going to see the route agent gained, X amount of dollars, even though it was all done through the store. So therefore, it should have gotten the store agent, but the return location wasn't set to store location, so it got the route agent.
No, it's a return location is the store. It still shows up as the delivery agent.
It shouldn't. If it's giving you the option to choose which return location and you choose the store as the return location, it should
change the agent as well.
It should change the actual orders agent, so that way then. But I would want to verify that. I would want to see a couple.
Let me look at it too, because there's a few of them that I have in mind that I'll double check, and if it's right, then we're okay. Then if not, then we'll have another conversation.
And are you using KPIs or are you using like the can't reports in the system?
The KPIs.
Okay, so it could be the KPIs need to be adjusted too. It could be that they're going based off of agent and not return location, and that could be the problem. So that could also be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, so just so I'm following, I understand return location, but you're saying in how it's supposed to work is agent is where the order was created.
So agent is where the money goes, right? And then return location is where the customer picks it up from. So like, for example, you can have different stores and they can all deposit their money into different bank accounts. So they all have different merchants, right? So if my agent for the order is store 1, even though I'm picking up by store 2, store 1 is getting the money for it, right? So the agent is the first thing you see. The return location is the second thing you see.
What creates it being set to a route or a store?
So if you're set for a route, like if you go into the customer's account, put them on a route, they're going to be set to a delivery customer. Their default agent is always going to be the route, right? And then if they change it, like the most CSRs don't have the ability to change the agent of an order. They can only change the return location of an order, right? So
Yeah.
the agent of the order is still going to be the route, or to still say delivery, but the return location would say store 1 or store 2 or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, but I guess that's what I'm saying is like if I have a customer who's on route and walks in the store because in this case, he's a pilot and he doesn't know when he's going to be back home or when he's going to be able to pick it up. But sometimes he likes being picked up. I mean, when he knows, right? He comes in the store, he's on a route. His agent is going to be that route, correct?
Right, his agent's going to be that route, but if you're looking at a KPI that was created and you're trying to get all the outgoing sales that's based off of the customer being a delivery customer and the order being any return location, then I think the KPIs need to be adjusted to the return location, not the agent of the order, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's like a slight difference in the way they're used in Smart.
Yeah. No, I hear. I'm just trying to make sure I understand what it is because my goal was to have like if I build a metric for a driver and saying, hey, this is the amount of dollars you've brought in, either picked up or delivered, right?
I got it. Okay.
We're only looking at either one, the delivery location, right, or the return location, right, and that's fine if that's the case. I just didn't know if there's another one, if there's a way we can add or
I see.
the drop off location. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think those KPIs can be adjusted. I think you can get something that works.
Okay. And then my third, I guess this is kind of a different question. I'm looking at instituting breaks. Is it just, and I played with it before, but there's a setting, you just add breaks and that's it. And check if it's paid or not paid, and then just have them clock in and out. There's nothing else that needs to be set up.
Yep, that's it. Exactly.
Just making sure I didn't break anything. All right. That's it, Tyler. Sorry for that.
No, don't be sorry. That's what we're here for. All right. Other questions? Let's see. There was something new that just came out, I think, this week. I know it was just edited yesterday. So for those of you who have optimized routes, you may start seeing under the route history of each customer, you might start seeing a time frame or a duration per each customer on their stop. So what that is it's going to essentially track your drivers whenever they're within 100 meters of the location that they need to be stopping. It's going to start a timer as to how long it takes them to complete that stop. So that way, I guess some people are wanting to see how long it takes their drivers per stop, and so this will be a easy way to track that. But again, it's only for optimized routes.
Tyler, is that something that's going to get changed to non-optimized routes, or is like longer term down the road? Is it going to do that, or is it some type of limitation that's only allowing for optimized?
Yeah, so I think it's specifically designed for optimization because it's already based off of geolocation. So I think it's built into the company that we work with called Routific. So that way they can. I think it's something that they opened up to us.
Gotcha.
And so essentially, if the route isn't using Routific, which would be optimization, it won't be able to get that function.
Got it. Okay.
And I guess for those who are still using fixed routes, I guess I would want to know, is there a reason why you are using fixed routes instead of switching over to, on demand and optimized routes?
Yes, Tyler, I'm using most of my routes are the will call, but they are fixed. When we set them up originally, I guess it was difficult for me to stage the deliveries in a way that I thought made sense, which is why we didn't. Right now, since it's fixed, everything when we print out the invoice or the slip, it has a route number or a stop number on it, and we order everything by that. Now, whether it gets moved or not is one thing, but at least it gets us some semblance of order.
Yeah, I could see that. I've seen that one, and then the classic that Sterling put in here, saying that he has older drivers who insist that they know the roads better than the robots, which is generally the answer that we get whenever I ask that question, which is okay. But I've also recently, I was able to get an older driver who had the exact same mentality, able to start using the brand new delivery app. And since he's able to do that, he's had no worries, nothing to deal with, like you know, why isn't this order ready? Why are everything is tracked? So then, one, his boss doesn't have to go ask him, "Hey, why were you late to this stop?" Or "Did you actually stop at this place?" Blah blah blah. Everything's tracked off the delivery app, and it's optimized based on that. So it's like there's no fault realistically on the driver unless if they are doing something wrong, because again, everything is tracked and has a geolocation to it at that point. You don't have to worry about setting up the route for, to make sure it's going to be right forever. The system will maintain it for you. So you don't have to worry about, am I doing the fastest route? Because it takes into consideration, am I going to go through a school zone at 5 p.m.? Like nobody wants to do that, or 3 p.m., whatever time school gets out. It's going to avoid those areas or traffic, stuff like that. So,
yeah. So I would love to use optimized routes.
So why not try it?
So what's the staging look like? Is it all by last name, or what's the, like when you load the van, what's the expectation there?
You can load the van however you would like. From
but
what I've seen is some people.
When it's optimized, there's no stop number, right?
No, so a stop number still prints out for optimized routes. It's just not consistent, right? So today, Mr. John could be number 1, but tomorrow Mr. John could be number 13. Just depends on how many people are on the route and where he ends up in the optimization. It's just the number is not consistent, but there is a stop number on the ticket. Most people they try to do it by last name or by name. Some people use the last 2 digits of the phone number. It just depends on whatever works for you guys.
Yeah.
But the stop numbers do print on the ticket. So is
that something that's been added? Because I don't remember that before. From when I first used it 2 years ago, a year ago.
I don't think that's the way it worked originally, and I've been here for a while. I'm pretty sure that's not how it used to work. I think we updated it probably within the last 10 months or so.
Okay. All right, so that might be the difference we have. Okay. I will try that on at least one of my routes. We'll go from there.
Yeah, I think it's worth a try, especially if you're trying to ease into eventually. I guess what people would want to do is the end goal of doing geofencing. Again, as long as you have your routes already set up to be based on location and not based off of date or time frame.
Yeah, and I already have geolocation already set up and everything, and it's working well. I want to use the tools that are available. So
I
definitely would try. So okay, I'll try it for one of my routes, and then if I have any problems, I'll let you guys. Or if I have any questions, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. Elton.
Hey guys, thank you for taking the questions.
Hey.
I just got here, so I got a quick question for you. We have an issue with customer notes instruction for a pickup. Not the driving instruction, but more like, hey, throwing a pair of pants in there that we would like to alter him up 2 inches. Where can we see those notes without going back to the original instance when the pickup and delivery came in, or going to the little truck? Like, is there any way that will show on the actual ticket when we print it out, or that it will show on the top right as one of the customer notes? But again, these are not customer notes like, these customers always want this specific way. This is a note specific to that pickup order. And we are missing those because, I guess I need to figure out how we do that better.
I want to say there's a print on ticket function for that specific notes field.
Okay. Can I hold you to that? Maybe can I follow?
Yeah, definitely follow up with me, because I want to go back and take a look. But I'm pretty sure there is a way that we can get it to print on the ticket.
Yeah, because it's getting painful to the point where, and I just got to figure out how to do it. Especially, it's a lot of clicks to always have to go back to the truck to see what the customer said. If it's a way we can automate that on the ticket, that would be excellent.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I could see how that would be painful because you say somebody brings something up that was 2 weeks ago, or even a week ago. It's going to take you
Oh,
some time
I can't
to
I
click
can't go
through it
back to the
and
thread. There's no way I can go back on the thread,
right.
especially if your picker request was 2 days ago or a week ago. Now, could I click on every time I'm gonna create an order on the truck and see what they say? But come on, like that's just too many clicks when only 2 orders out of 20 have a no attached to it. It's like a 80% false positive or whatever you want to call that. So if we
Hmm.
can attach that to the invoice, that would be very useful.
Yeah. Let me look into that after this meeting, and I'll reach out to you.
I appreciate it very much.
Yeah. If there isn't a way, I think we should make that something for sure.
All right, I appreciate that. Definitely comforting.
Yeah.
I go back to the HQ. Yeah, I'm working with Josh on the other item, so I'll let Josh finish that.
Okay. Yeah. All good. All good. All right. Looks like wherever you asked, is it possible to add interest automatically? Does it have to be done manually? And so, yeah, I guess what Chris is asking, are you talking about for statement customers or for past due orders? Can you give us a little bit of context for how you're trying to do it? Statements over 30 days past due. My first reaction is no, because I mean you've already given a statement, um, and the only way to go back and change that statement is by voiding it and then recreating it. So I guess if it were to be possible to be automated, how would you prefer it to be done? Would you want it to just be added on to the next statement that goes out, or um, I guess what would be kind of your thought process on it? And obviously, if anybody has other ideas about this too, because I'm sure um, other cleaners have had this thought too. So essentially, it would look like a full 30 days has passed that they hadn't paid their statement. The next statement is about to generate. If it's not paid, add a late fee interest or something like that, right? Okay. I think that's definitely an interesting idea. I don't know. I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up this week and see what other ideas we have, or if it is, something that could be done, or if there's other things that need to be done first before we can get that. Right. The only other thing that I've seen people do is create an import order for the amount and then put it onto the next one. Okay. Other questions? Looks like we have about 10 more minutes. All right. I'm going to say there's no other questions as for right now. And I guess if you do have other questions, obviously you can reach out to us through support and or even the live meeting if you need instant help or somebody to talk to about it. And yeah, I guess everybody have a great rest of your week. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Bye.